And welcome back. The City University of New York has a very special program. It's an accelerated study in associated programs, better known as ASAP. It's a program that's actually helping low-income students to actually stay on track with their education, providing them with financial, academic, as well as personal support. Well, in July, Mayor Bill De Blasio proposed a $20 million budget cut to Cuny ASAP for their proposed 2021 budget. And joining us now to share a little bit more and provide further insight is the council member of District 16, Vanessa Gibson, and the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Bronx Community College, Sandres Rápalo. And we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the wonderful opportunity.
Thank you. And so if you can, we'll share with us a little bit about the ASAP program, because as I gave a little bit of an intro, if you can share a little bit about how exactly does the ASAP program impact students?
Thank you so much, Darren. First of all, want to say thank you to our consul, Vanessa Gibson, and our consul, Cabrera, and obviously the mayor and the leadership of our president, Dr. Thomas Ed.D. It has been pivotal because, as you know, when we speak about social security and when we speak about economic recovery, ASAP is at the center, not only being the engine of upward economic social mobility for our state, but also for a borough. So the $20 million restoration, if you will, help us a lot. Talking about access, equity, and the lifespan of what the ASAP student means, right? So as we know, ASAP helps students to stay on track and to graduate. So by providing a range of social and academic and personal support, including personalized advisement, career counseling, tutoring, waivers for tuition, and mandatory fees, as well as in MetroCards and additional financial assistance to cover the cost of textbook. So having the $20 million restoration, thanks to the leadership of Cabrera and Gibson, it's absolutely unbelievable helpful for BCC student. We are so thankful for the leadership. We are so thankful for everything that they do. Wants to help our students. It's our biggest joy. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I'm so happy and thrilled to be here today and to spell the value of ASAP. We have to understand that ASAP, as we speak, it serves more than 25,000 students. So ASAP is mainly funded by the city, and we are so happy and thankful for this unbelievable opportunity.
Yeah, let me get the councilwoman in here and talk a little bit about this, because we talked about the possible budget cuts that it could actually face. I know that you've stepped in. I know that also that you're, working really hard to fill the gap. Talk about your involvement.
Thank you so much for having me, and good morning to all of you. And thank you, Dr. Rápalo. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate speaking about the Cuny ASAP program. This program has been such an incredible success for thousands of Cuny Community College students. And going into the budget process, my colleagues and I all recognize the importance of it. There was a groundswell of advocacy on behalf of not just Cuny, but the thousands of students that benefited from the Cuny ASAP program. They wrote letters, they sent emails, they tagged us on social media, because they understood that the $20 million cut that was proposed in the executive budget would have a real negative impact on their academic career and academic success. And even though the budget was painful, we had a $9 billion budget deficit. We lost $7 billion in revenue due to COVID, and we had no revenue. We had a capital process, we had reserves, we had lots of cuts, and at the end of the day, we could not allow the ASAP program to be cut. So I want to also share with everyone, the initial cut was $20 million, but as we got close to budget negotiations, the administration came to us with an additional $14 million cut. Would you believe that? $34 million out of an $86 million program. We could not let that happen. So we obviously, we couldn't save every program that we would have liked to, but Cuny ASAP was important. And I really want to thank Cuny and Dr. Ed.D, the BCC family. Thousands of constituents that I represent today will benefit from the Cuny ASAP program, and I'm grateful for that. And it all goes to show you, when students stand up for themselves and they advocate, we can actually be successful and win.
Yeah, and Dr. Rapolo, talk to us about what this actually means for students, because we know that they have the opportunity to continue in their education. But talk about the impact of what the program has been like before the budget cuts or proposed cuts.
Correct. No, thank you. Absolutely, I agree with you. The support of ASAP has been extremely helpful for the BCC family and obviously for CUNY as a whole. Just to give you an idea, speaking of social mobility, right? ASAP helping more students take advantage of the CUNY value. So two studies published in 2012 and 2013 highlighted the benefit cost analysis of ASAP. It goes back to what Consul Gibson mentioned, it, right? The cost effectiveness of ASAP shows the ASAP higher graduation rate will represent a long-term increase in tax payment by students who have access to higher earnings. So speaking about investing in your community and helping our students that, as we know, are underrepresented, it's amazing. It's truly talking about social equality, mobility, and that making that early connection, advisors and peer mentors is one of the catalysts of ASAP. Regular meetings with assigned advisors to review classroom experience, discuss personal goals, career goals, plan to transfer, connect with academic support and faculty. We are so happy and thrilled. And as a matter of fact, we were recognized in April 20, if I'm not mistaken, by the prestigious Innovation in American Government Award from Harvard John F. Kennedy School of Government, highlighting the excellent work of ASAP. And as we speak, The Economist stated, the article on social experiment stated that ASAP is more important than affirmative action. So those are very powerful work, more important than affirmative action. So why? Because as I mentioned it, sociality, helping the students get to the graduation, increasing graduation, just to highlight the amazing work of ASAP. At BCC, ASAP has a graduation rate increased from 7% in the fall of 26 to 20% by fall in 2015. So that's a big gap, and that's a big jump. It helped us to make that jump, and that is through the hard work of our campus president, Dr. Thomas Ekanagri. I cannot reinforce that. The wonderful work of our all ASAP advisors. And obviously, I have to highlight this, not because she's here, Consul Gibson and Cabrera has been pivotal to making sure that we keep moving that needle. Also, our leader, our campus president, and our chancellor, Felix Matos, through his voice, our students advocate in the Gibson mentioning, and it's truly important and remarkable to highlight when we unify our voice, we're stronger together.
Yeah, Councilmember Gibson, talk to me a little bit about that groundswell of really getting support out there and getting behind this, because I know yourself, Councilmember Cabrera, and other voices, but talk to us about how you were able to rally those voices together and make your collective voices known.
So I think at the beginning of the budget process, no one anticipated that we would face the financial challenges we did. But when COVID hit, it really turned our worlds upside down. We lost revenue, businesses closed, the city closed, and we really had to do the very best we could. Number one, to keep people alive, to find out and identify places where people could be tested, and everything turned to the remote process. So we've been in constant conversation with CUNY, with our chancellor, Dr. Matos Rodriguez and his team, to understand some of the challenges that CUNY was facing in the budget process. So we learned about the $20 million cut, and that really set forth the advocacy that came from the student body, from leadership, from advocates at CUNY that really did not want to see any cuts. Now, everyone understood that they would have to take cuts at some point because we just didn't have the revenue to save every program. We didn't have the ability to borrow money from Albany. We had no federal dollars and no state dollars. And the revenue stream from New York City was dismal. So I really think the voices of students are always powerful. And you also saw the movement around Black Lives Matter, around looking at diverting funds from the NYPD to social services. And I really think elected officials listen. We didn't always come to agreements because we didn't have all of the, resources that we would have loved. But I think when you get hundreds of emails every day, and when you see students as you are giving out food and you talk to their grandparents and they will tell you, my child is a student at BCC, or my granddaughter goes there. you recognize the validity of the program and the significance. And again, a lot of programs did take cuts, some 5%, some 15%. Education took a big hit, but we could not allow Cuny ASAP to take any hit. And so my colleagues on the budget negotiating team, of which I am one of the members, we made that a priority, along with fair student funding, social workers and guidance counselors, single shepherd. Those were our top priorities. And we said to our colleagues, we're not cutting this program. We have to find money. So ultimately, you know, other programs did take a hit and a sacrifice at the expense of some of the programs that took no cuts. But Cuny ASAP is a program that is meaningful, that is worthy. And I'm really proud of the students that came forward, particularly during COVID, when so many have been traumatized and not able to function and carry on their academics. The ASAP program is stability for them and consistency so they can get through their courses and the stress of living life in New York City and not having access to food and jobs and income. So ASAP is the success, and we are grateful that we restored it in the budget.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much. And a vital program, of course, for Bronxites and for students who attend BCC, the Cuny ASAP program. Thank you so much for the great work that was done in saving that program. And so, Councilmember Gibson, thank you so much. And then also to Dr. Rápalo, thanks again for being with us here.
Thank
on
you.
Open.
Thank you. Cuny ASAP rocks.
All righty. All righty. Well, listen, we got to leave it there. We're going to take a quick break. We've got more Open. Stay with us. We're coming right back right after this.